Tonight I'm going to be taking part in the most influential dinner conversation to have ever existed in the history of the world. My name is Anthony Panariello, and I have reincarnated three of the greatest minds to have ever existed. Well, I reincarnated two of them. The third one decided to come down from heaven and join us. My three house guests tonight will be Jesus Christ, Leonardo da Vinci, and Albert Einstein. Starting off with my first guest, Jesus Christ. He's arguably one of the most influential persons to have ever existed, starting a church a little over 2,000 years ago that has only grown and thrived since it started. It's had some setbacks here and there, but I think it's had a very impressive track record since it started. Not to mention being one of the greatest philosophers and theologians to have ever existed. I think he could definitely provide some wisdom and some knowledge to myself and to my other house guests on several different topics. I'm sure we could probe him for some questions. My second house guest actually painted my first house guest, so that should provide some interesting dinner conversation, that being Leonardo da Vinci. He is one of the greatest innovative minds to have ever existed. He took part in so many different areas, from art, music, math, physics. The guy did it all, and I would love to hear his thoughts on our society's art and technology, and if he thinks we've digressed since he existed. Not to mention he's also Italian, so I think that we could connect on that level as well. My final guest adds some diversity in Albert Einstein, being one of the greatest physics minds to have ever existed, maybe the greatest physics minds, and I'm sure he would provide some interesting dinner conversation for Jesus and perhaps for Da Vinci as well, since Da Vinci took part in physics. But I think it would just be interesting to hear his thoughts on what we've learned as a society since Einstein, since he's passed away, and just to see him probe Jesus for questions on how the universe started and on what he was thinking when the universe started. My whole goal with this dinner conversation is to gain the knowledge on how to create the best society possible. Perhaps I'm not the best person to have that knowledge, but I would just love to learn what we can do to improve as a society. And just thinking about the leaps that we could take as a society learning from these three men is just, I can't even imagine it. And that is the reason why I would want Jesus Christ, Leonardo da Vinci, and Albert Einstein at one dinner conversation for one night. This is my note card that I read off of. I'm sorry that it's backwards. I don't know how to undo that. Thank you for listening, and my name is Anthony Panariello.